What's going on? I am DC, the host of Talk to Me Nice DC, and today we're going to be talking about courting and dating in a relationship versus engagements. What is courting and dating, and do we even still do that? And how does that transition into engagements? But we're going to talk about it today on Talk to Me Nice DC. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you soon.
I am Stephanie Carter. Hello, everyone. I'm from Texas. I met DC. What was that? 2010.
So,
All the way back when we were served in the military together in the Navy. I don't remember. I'm not gonna even lie. Don't quote me. I don't remember if it's Hoo-Yah, Hoorah. It's one of them. But no, I'm also a photographer. Captured by Stephanie and Pierre. You can find us on Instagram.
today we're going to be talking about dating and courting and versus engagements in relationships. I want to start that off by asking, what is courting to you? What is courting?
Ooh, I say for me, like I said, I told you I'm still a little new to understanding courting, but for me, courting, understand to be two people in a relationship that are aiming for marriage. First of all, now you have courting, but you also have courtship. Now that's the difference. Courtship is more of the Christian way. Courtship, you're still the end result is marriage, but courtship is you have no, you're basically really getting to know that person. There's no intimacy, no holding hands, no kissing, no single going out dating or whatever you date in groups. Like, so you have courting. Yeah, I get the courting, but you also have courtship. So I'm still learning. Don't quote me now.
So, from your aspect of courting, it's basically that stage where you're getting to know your partner before it grows to something greater than just that beginning stage. That getting to know them is pretty much what you're saying. So,
Right.
how would that be reflected for dating? So, what would dating be then for you?
Dating, I kind of understand it now as a time to enjoy yourself. It's kind of like a pause in life where you're trying to figure things out. You are, you have options. It's kind of like a buffet. Let's be honest. It's kind of a buffet. Like I'm gonna go here and see if I like this over here. That didn't work. Let me go over here. Let me try this over here. So dating is kind of like it's bad. It's really bad to say, but dating is kind of free range.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, like now that I'm like really have been like reading into this and studying this, like dating is really not a relationship. It is more of it's like your bachelor time. Like it's for you to enjoy yourself, kick your feet back, do whatever, learn yourself. Before you get to that serious maturity of courtship or courting, like so yeah. My perspective of dating a long time ago was not what I think of it now.
That's interesting. I feel like that's the case for most people because I know when I was growing up, dating was the serious thing. That was where the title
Right.
came. That was where you introducing them to people. Like this is supposed to, like you said, your buffet time. You're supposed to be trying to see what fits you, and you're throwing all of these titles and expectations on someone that you're just hanging out with. Because basically, for me, dating is a nicer way of saying hanging out. I'm hanging out with you. I'm spending some time with you. That time is
Right.
not doesn't come with expectation. It shouldn't come with expectations or a title, but I'm spending time with you. And from there, we'll grow to see if we're courting and so on and so forth. But we looked at it completely opposite,
Exactly.
and I think that's based on our priorities when we're younger, because we're not thinking of marriage and kids when we're younger. We're thinking of the biggest task, which is dating. So everything happens in dating. You get people that move in together when they're dating, and to me, that's
Right.
like a recipe for disaster. But to each his own. So
I
okay,
really do.
go
Go ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, I feel like when you said that, I feel like when you say dating, when you're moving in together and everything like that, you do that during dating. I really feel like also with dating, like if we knew the difference back then, it would be so different. Like you wouldn't have so much heartbreak, you wouldn't have all of that extra stuff. But I'm not gonna move forward because I'm pretty sure you got other questions. But
No, you're
I
good.
feel
Go ahead.
like if we knew the breakdown of dating and courtship younger, if it was like told to us and taught to us right, a lot of all of this wasted time would have been null and void. But yeah.
You bring up an interesting point. If we were taught what dating should be, why do you think we people don't really teach you? With like you get older people that'll say, "Yeah, that's puppy love." Every other type of thing you want
Right.
to describe what that feeling could be and to minimize what it could be, and instead of just telling you this is what you should be looking for, this is what you shouldn't be looking for, and this is what happens, and this is the process, the natural process in which it happens. Why do you think people don't really do that?
But okay. So I'm gonna say this now. When they do put acronyms on it, it's puppy love, and we kind of brush it off as like, okay, we not dogs, or stuff like that. Now, I think we were, in a way, we were told about it, but with our mindset and with culture, we saw something different.
Hmm.
So our first teacher didn't become our parents or the older generation who was trying to school us on how they've been married for 40, 50 something years and 70 something years and been happy. We saw, we listened, brushed it off, but our first teacher was really cultured. And we saw, oh, they're dating, they're in a relationship, oh, it works for them. So we wanted to speed up and be like them.
Hmm.
So I guess I use the word the term too loosely because technically we were in a way taught, but it was either up to our mindsets, our maturity levels, and what we were feeding ourselves if we was gonna listen or not. But culture looked like it was that like that greener grass on the other side, which wasn't really that green when you get on the other side. That's how our minds became like, oh, it looks better over here. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it looks a whole lot more fun over here.
Rushing to be grown, and then when you get there, you wishing you could go back. It's funny how life works like that.
Right.
So that being said, you have dating, you have courting and courtship. So what would the process of seeking a partner or engagement? What would that be for you, or how would you
Now,
describe
what
it?
you mean when you say
So you have dating, you have courtship, and then you have engagement. Engagement, looking for your partner, looking for your husband or your wife. What would that be? How would you describe that?
but wouldn't that be courting though?
You tell me.
I mean, I would see that as the engagement would be from courting somebody. I feel like, okay, so I see the steps now as you meet a person, you date them, you date whoever, just trying to figure out, hey, who you have this connection with, and you're kind of going around. You're not going around and doing all this other kind of stuff, but you're talking to people. It's not really dating. I say you talking to somebody. You may go out with that person and have like a casual dinner or something like that to see if there's a connection or a meet and greet, whatever. But I feel like after that, yeah, you do date a while and um, you kind of figure out, okay, I got a connection with this person. Let's see if we're on the same page.
Right.
That's when courting comes from. But during courting, I feel like engagement comes from that courting because you guys are supposed to be mature enough to be on that same page.
Mm.
So I feel like that's like, okay, we already know this is what we're gonna do. At the end of this tunnel or this little journey we're going through, let's focus here. This is our end goal. We're shooting to go here, and we're gonna go. We're getting there. But I feel like that's kind of engagement is the step right before marriage. But I feel like it's right after courting. So technically, you have to. I mean, technically.
I get it. Okay. Okay. It makes sense. Okay, so let me ask you this then.
Okay.
Would you date someone knowing that you're looking to date and they're looking to court? Would you invest time in dating that person knowing that you're not equally looking for the same thing, or would you hope that you would eventually align?
No.
No? Why?
Because I say no because I don't know. I'm still, if how do you put this? If I'm dating somebody, I'm not in the mindset of courting them. I'm still in the mindset of trying to get to know that person, and they're already there. Now, granted, I might eventually get there in dating them, but at the same time, I wouldn't. I would at least let that person know because, like I was telling you before, it's so much wasted time when you have two people on two different levels.
Mm.
You can't force a person to be on the same level as you if they're not ready. Because then you have heartbreak, you have breakups, you have I don't like you, I don't want to talk to you, I'm blocking you, you got all of this immaturity level, and you just knock this person who's already ready to court, you just knock them back 5 years, or you just knock them back to where they don't even believe in that anymore. So you kind of have to. It's a thing with communication, but it's a thing with understanding what you're communicating. So hey, you're ready for this, but I'm not there yet. So I don't think this is gonna work. Let me get there, and if it's meant to be, it'll be. If the time is right, it'll come back. But at the same time, I'm not there. I don't want to waste your time because somebody else might be out there for you, and you might not even be for me.
Right.
So,
Very well said, because you would think, that should be the sentiment for everyone, but a lot of people waste people's time. A lot of people, play the game and they don't, care about who, like you said, gets hurt or upset in the outcome.
exactly.
And you made a point about, changing the way a person might view that after, breaking their heart. And that's the sad thing that I feel like happens more often than not. And a lot of good, partners are lost due to that process of people taking into consideration their feelings. It's sad to see, but I mean, it happens so often. Okay.
It really does. It really, really does. And it goes back to us, what we see in culture, that, I mean, culture plays a big part in our life and we don't even notice it. So, yeah.
I agree. So let me ask you this. We've established the three different levels, the dating, the courting / engagement. When you're looking for someone to date, what are the qualities that you look for and don't look for in someone you're just dating?
Are you happy? Hit me with that. No, the reason why I say that, okay, before we started, as I was telling you, I'm still in my transition of becoming kingdom, king, and being in my kingdom single to be this kingdom woman that God has for me, or has that wants me to be, right? So it was a lot of qualities that I was looking at in, in dating and relationships and everything that don't matter to me now. So I'm still like, I kind of have the answer to that, but I'm kind of in a place don't, because one thing I do want is a Christian man.
Okay.
That's it. I'm the corny person. That's yes, and I'm pretty sure if my last ex will see this, he will vouch that we go on dates from church to church. Like, I'm that person. So sorry, but not sorry, but no. So I really can't really answer that because I'm still trying to figure out what are the qualities that I'm supposed to look for in a kingdom man, or look for in a man. Period. Who is supposed to be who I eventually want to be the head of my household? That's a tough question.
Fair enough. I mean, one thing I can say I've acknowledged, in my transition to dating is what I look for in dating now as to what I look for or looked for back then are nowhere near the same thing. Like,
right.
when I was in my teens, all she had to do was be attractive and, laugh at my jokes. That was it. That was.
He had to be tall and chocolate, no.
That was it. It was very superficial things. And once I learned that superficial only could get you but so far, what's inside
Right.
and how they treat people, those things I realized mattered to me. But that was from trial and error, being around people who didn't do these things or did things that I wasn't comfortable with. Like, for example, I would go out on dates, and if you got somebody who's rude to, the waiter, like that bothered me internally.
Yes.
If you talk to, somebody like this, then imagine what you would treat me like if you were ever mad, or, your family, so I thought, so, I started making that transition and like, okay, they have to have these qualities and so on and so forth. And, they have to be, spiritual for me. And that wasn't a thing back then, but there are things that are, more important now. So, it is a difference through growth and through learning. So it's okay that, you're still learning, what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because we're always adding, and we should always be subtracting.
Very much so.
Take place, so that's fine. The key for me, I feel like, and I stated this before, my stepmom, she had me sit down and write a list of what I was looking for, pros on one side and the cons on the other side. And that was hard to do. That was very hard for me to do. And I realized that I had more cons than pros because I literally did not know what I was looking for. And now at this point in my life, I have a lot better understanding of what I want, what I need. So you're learning about dating, you're learning what you're looking for in dating. How about for courtship or engagement? What would be that thing that you would look for now as opposed to what you understood back then?
I think what I look for now is would be is a partner, not a. I feel like there's a difference between a relationship. I feel like you have a relationship with everybody. You have a relationship with the person you just met, like you just spoke to, whatever. You have, that's with anybody. But I feel like with a partner, not like, it's kind of like a business. You want to see that business be successful. You want to see that business grow. I feel like for me, what I would look for is a partner, somebody who feeds off me and I feed off them. Somebody who wants me to be successful and I want to do the same thing. Like somebody that is going to not be afraid to tell me when I'm wrong, but also be there to be like, but this is what you can do differently. Like I want I will look for a partner, somebody that's going to, hey, look, this is where we trying to reach, and we gonna get there. Like, this is what we got to do. Here's our blueprint. Let's go. Versus what I used to look for, it was just, okay, I just want to be in a relationship. We go out to eat, we have fun, we watch movies together. I meet his parents, he meets my parents, and we eventually get married, and it's just great. And I have babies, and no, no. What you, a lot of times, I'm gonna go back to culture or TV shows. A lot of times, when we see on TV, we see everything is, oh, that was perfect. It was so fast and so quick. We want the same thing, but it's not. It's not that easy. It's a process. It's steps. It's things you have to take. It's a maturity level. Like, it's a mindset. Like, you really have to, like, buckle down and, like you said, make a list of what you want, what you don't want. You have to subtract the things that don't matter. Like, you have to add the things that do. Like, so I would say I would look more for a partner who holds those qualities. And as I was telling you earlier, nowadays it's so many opportunities, just like a business, so many opportunities in this world that everybody can make it. And I feel like everybody can be in a successful relationship. There's somebody there for everybody. That's what's written. We just got to take the time to actually sit back and wait for that. Fix yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. Prepare yourself to be the person that you asking for. Because obviously that person is, hopefully they're doing the same thing. That way you don't have so many heartbreaks and all this extra kind of stuff. But yeah, I would look for more for a partner than just a regular relationship.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because a lot of people want so much from their partner and they don't have any of those things. And I find that interesting that's always been the case as long as I've known about dating. A partner than they expect from themselves. And then they get upset when they don't get that, or they get a partner who doesn't meet all their expectations, and they give them a hard time, or they put unnecessary strife in their relationship because this
right.
Might not be making the money, or everybody wants to find someone to take care of, men and women.
Right.
Might not be the same type, but it's always a form of taking care of them.
Exactly. And it was something, I don't know if I was like listening to something, or if, like, I think it was a sermon, but it was it was a sermon. I want to say it was Pastor Jerry and his wife there in Houston. And I've listened to them constantly lately, but I think it was something that he said where it was like, how can you ask for a man that, I think it was his wife, but I was just like, how can you ask for a man that makes six figures and has a house, has his own car, and everything like that? It goes back to, what are you bringing to the table? Like, I never really understood that growing up, but that's a real statement. It's like, okay, he got everything in the book, but then here you come, oh, well, I can cook. I can lay on my back. Yeah, I said it. I can lay on my back for my legs, but you know what I mean? Like, well, I mean, what else are you bringing though? Like, you can't ask for this and you don't have 2 cents in your savings account.
Yeah, it's
I went there. Sorry.
There's truth there.
But it's the same for men too.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
You can't ask for a woman who can cook and take care of the kids and everything, and you not be able to do it. I mean, it goes both ways.
or provide. Not being
Or
able to,
provide.
you know,
Yeah.
it's funny that people can set those unrealistic expectations for themselves in relationships, but that doesn't apply, or it's not. It's understood that that won't apply anywhere else. You go ask for a loan and you have bad credit. There's a chance you might not get that loan. You want this
Right.
low rated loan, but you have no credit. You wouldn't even dare go ask. So why would you ask for something that would be more beneficial to your life and you bring nothing to the table? So what I say that to
Right.
say, we should always, all of us should always be trying to improve ourselves for the partner.
Right.
Make sure that they're a reflection of you and not just an idea for you.
There you go. That's perfect. That yes. Yes. Exactly. Like we all, I mean, nobody's gonna be perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's ever gonna be perfect. But you definitely want to at least, like, they talk about baggage, they talk about bringing stuff to the table, but you definitely want to at least put yourself in a position to where you have something to offer. You know, where you are, somebody can match you and y'all can go from there. Like, you don't want to be on a way down level, then this person's trying to pick you up from that level, bring you to their level, and then move forward. Like, that's a lot of work, and that causes a lot of heartaches. That causes a lot of breakups. That causes a lot of confusion and mess and drama. It causes a lot, So you definitely, like, it's a process.
Right. It is. So segue into that, we talked about what we look for when we're dating. What would make you realize that someone is better left to be someone you date than court? What would be some things that you would see or realize about it? I can see the look in your face. What would make you realize this? Because people need to know, how to identify or how to recognize, you know, the difference.
Oh my goodness. Okay. For me, it's actions.
Hmm.
Um, you can talk a good game. You can say all you want. You can text all you want. You can do. If you're not showing me something, showing me change, showing me some kind of uh, progression, like I- that's me. I'm an action person. I'm gonna show you who I am better than I can tell you.
Right.
And I feel like that's what turns me off from a lot of people. Like how you were saying that a person, talks talks down to a person at a restaurant, a waitress or a janitor or anybody like that. Stuff like that, like your actions, how you treat your mom, how you treat your family, how you treat, whoever, like all of that, I'm watching. Like I know if you doing it now and you haven't changed, this is the same pattern. That's a turn off for me. Like your actions are something that I'm looking at in order for me to be like, I want to move forward with this person. I can see myself for the future with this person. Who you are, how honest you are, how upfront with you. If you the fact that you can be honest with me, that your breath stank. Okay, thank you for telling me. Or you look kind of big in that shirt. At least you told me. I might be mad for like 2 seconds because I'll be like, God dang, you ain't have to put me out like that. But at the end of the day, I'ma still respect you for saying it because you said it to me. You didn't let somebody else outside of what we're trying to build. You didn't let them say it to me. You told me. You were my mirror. You know what I'm saying? You were the person that I'm too afraid to look at and be like, okay, now I know this is wrong, but I'm gonna still do it. No, you that person to stop me and say, no, that's wrong, and you don't need to. Like actions for me speak so much volume.
Hmm.
So I think that is the question.
That's an interesting take. A lot of people wouldn't be able to articulate that in that way. So I like that. I think for me, it's always been, like I said, the little things, the personality match. I pay attention to, if our personalities click or they don't. Because if I'm uncomfortable or I find myself not being able to speak openly or honestly to you, then I'm not
Right.
I'm not in a situation that's conducive for me. It's not going to help me
Right.
grow, and it's only going to create this lie or facade for you to let you hear and think what you want to believe. Because I'm not big on that, letting people live a lie
Right.
around me, because that I'm not being a friend. Like you said, if I'm letting you walk out here wrong and I'm not saying anything, then I'm not doing my job, and vice versa.
Exactly.
Nice.